We are live. I am live on Instagram and I am live on YouTube to talk water polo with you guys. I'm excited to be here. I haven't been here in a while. I've been coaching soccer. Yeah, in order for my kid to play soccer, I had to coach because they didn't have a coach. But it turns out soccer is a lot like water polo. So you just pick up a few techniques and it's all triangles. So happy to be here with you guys. Happy to be back. I plan on doing one of these a month and on Saturdays. And if you like this and you want more of it and you want more access to me, I have memberships now on my YouTube page. So you can sign up and be a member, and we do members only live chats on Monday nights a couple times a month. So you get more access to me if you're not getting the kind of coaching that you want or you need with your coach. You can access me. So check out the memberships on our YouTube page for that. Have a lot of exciting things going on. I am actually writing a water polo book. Yes, I am. And it's coming along great. I'm writing one for coaches and I'm writing one for players simultaneously. And it's going to have video references to it. It's going to be on foundational skills that we all need to learn. And I'm really excited about it. So that I am working on. This book just came out, and I'm so excited about this. Delilah and the Missing Curtains, A Child's Guide to Gratitude and Happiness. If you have children and you're trying to teach them how to be thankful, how to have gratitude in this crazy world that we live in, where at Christmas they're just showered and inundated with gifts. It's so difficult to teach kids gratitude when we're in this society where we get and we have so much. So the more you have, it's paramount importance to be grateful for it and to teach our kids to be grateful and really teach ourselves, which is really what the book is about. Because as you read it, we're just talking to ourselves as parents. Um, so Delilah and the Missing Curtains, pick up a copy on Amazon. If you do, you can help me out and leave me a review. Because it turns out the children's book market is quite competitive. But I already knew that. I'm kidding. So we got the book out. I'm writing a book on polo. We just released a few videos on our YouTube page. I want to mention the videos we released so you can check them out. We did a hooks and turns series, and we released the complete series. So it's like 30 minutes long. It's super long, but it's detailed and it takes you through everything. So if you've ever wanted to hook and turn your man on offense, you need to check out this series and watch the whole thing. It will take you through exactly what you need and step by step, and it will build the skills. So I can't recommend it more highly. Complete hooks and turns series. We also have each video released on its own. I think it's like 5 or 6 parts, so you can check that out too. My college teammate, Kevin Wallace, did a guest coach spot. The first time we really done that, and he did backhand tips. So if you want some tips on how to shoot a backhand, you can check that out. Backhand tips by guest coach Kevin Wallace. That's up on our site. And I did a video on fronting 2 meters off the lineup. So let's see if you guys can see this board here. Let me tip this up a little bit better. Maybe tip this down. Tricky to do. Let's see. There we go. So if you're on the lineup, all right, let me write that here. Okay. So you're off the lineup at the center cage, right? You're lining 6 and 6. And let's say you're guarding the 2 meter man, right? So I talk about if you're this defender here and you know you're guarding the 2 meter man, instead of meeting him right up here and fighting him the whole way down, you just come back and pick a spot around 5 meters. It's a good spot, right? If the 2 meter man meets you at 5 meters, right, then you just push him out because you're starting at 5 meters. That's pretty good defensive position. You've pushed him out If you've got the 2 meter man out at 5 meters as a defender, you've done your job. So he has that option. He can meet you and then you push him out, or he can pass you, in which case now you're right in a front. So at least you're starting your defensive position in a front, which is good. And I always say if you confront for 5 seconds, that's 5 seconds they can't get the ball in. That's a good thing. 10 seconds. As long as you confront, do it. The longer you confront, the better, even if it's only for a few seconds. So I have a video on that you can check out, and I highly recommend fronting 2 meters and how you can get into that front position right off the lineup. Kind of sets you up to front for those first few seconds of the offense. Then if you lose your front, then you can start going into your press crash, which I'm going to talk about in a little bit. So those are the videos that we had: hooks and turns, backhand tips, and then fronting 2 meters off the lineup. So, as you know, in this format, you are welcome for the next few minutes to ask me any questions you would like. You have questions, could be water polo related, skill related, team stuff related, the mental game, situation on your team that you need help with. So I'm here. So ask me a question in the chat, and I will break what I'm doing and answer your question. Okay, but what I'm going to talk about today is the press crash, and then if you guys have any questions, we'll go off into any area you want me to go off into for a few minutes. Let's talk about press crash. Okay, what is a press crash? First of all, a press crash is when you are, let's simplify it. We're just going to do the two flats, right? Here's 2 meters. Now, when we talk about press crash, we're usually talking about the flat defenders. Okay, so this guy and this guy, these two X's guarding the flat. So they're going to press. In this case, we're going to field block when the man has the ball. Okay, and then they're going to be in a ready crash position when their man doesn't have the ball. Okay, so for example, when this guy has the ball here, right, this defender is going to be field blocking, right? Now remember, when you field block, opposite arm is up to the arm that's shooting. So if the guy that you're guarding is right-handed, your left arm is going to be up. Okay, and now most players are going to be right-handed, so most of the time your left arm is going to be field blocking. When you field block, you've got to get up big, shoulders up high out of the water, not here. This is not a good field block. Up high, and you've got to be constant. So you can't be waving around. You can't have your arm like out in front like this. You got to be up big and high. Open your hands up big. Okay? Sculling with that off arm, strong legs. Again, your guy is shooting with his right arm, you're going to have your left arm up to field block. Okay? So when you're in that flat position and your guy gets the ball, you're in that field block. Then, let's say the ball crosses to this flat. Now you're in your crash position. So now you're going to be here, head. See my little stick figure? Head towards 2 meters, feet towards the man you're guarding in a ready crash position, horizontal in the water. Okay, this is key. This whole thing is that you're horizontal. Why are you horizontal? Because you got to move. You got to move quickly. If the ball goes into 2 meters, as the ball is being entered, you got to swim freestyle into 2 meters. Well, how do you swim freestyle? Vertically or horizontally? You swim horizontally. So if you start in a vertical position and then you have to go horizontal to swim freestyle, that's an extra step that's going to slow you down. You have to be horizontal, ready to swim freestyle. Okay, so you're up, horizontal position, and you're in ready to crash. As the ball is being entered, when it's in the air, you're crashing into 2 meters so that you get there when the ball lands. Right? Remember, you're not dropped. You're not preventing the ball from coming in. You're allowing the ball to go in. You're just there when it lands. That's the crash. Okay, so now You're here, horizontal. This guy has the ball. Horizontal, head facing towards 2 meters, ready to crash if the ball's entered. Let's say the ball comes back. Now, you're horizontal, right? You're going to roll over your legs right into your field block position and then close out. Roll over your legs, field block position. Now, here's a couple things I see people make a mistake from this move. They don't have their hand up when their man catches the ball. You have to be in your field block position the moment your man catches the ball. What does that require? Well, remember, when you were in the crash position, I said you leave when the ball's in the air, right? Because you have to be there when it lands. Well, it's the same thing. When the ball's crossed from flat to flat, you have to move when the ball's in the air. So you have to be rolling when the ball's in the air so that when the guy catches the ball, pop, you're already there in your position. Otherwise, a catch and shoot beats you and you're no good to the goalie. Okay. So if you take away one thing from what we're talking about, it's move when the ball is in the air in both situations. You crash when the ball's in the air, and you roll over your legs in field block position when the ball is in the air so that you're ready in both situations. And that's what I want to talk about today. Again, any questions you have, hit me up for the next 30 seconds or a minute. If not, like I said, I want to do this about once a month. Get your questions ready for me or send them to me on the YouTube page. I'll be happy to answer them. But in the meantime, Delilah and the Missing Curtains, Child's Guide to Gratitude. Check it out on Amazon. Would really appreciate it. And again, if you want more personalized coaching from me, you're not getting the coaching that you think you deserve. Some coaches just coach certain players and they ignore everybody else. If that's the situation, check out my memberships on the YouTube page, and I can get more in depth with your personal situation and what you need as a player. Hey, appreciate that, water polo app. I appreciate that. Sometimes I feel it's difficult to explain when you're not in the water and you're talking about it, but there are some things that you can get done just talking about it. So thank you. I appreciate that. All right, guys, I don't see any questions, which is fine. So I will see you in a few weeks and we will talk polo. Thanks a lot. Bye.